And we are live. Welcome
sir.
back to
Yes.
another episode of the Mecca of Banter podcast. Boys, it feels good to say it every single time.
Yes.
I, of course, am here. My name's Nick. I am Hafey on Twitter, of course, one of the hosts. And if the other boys would like to introduce themselves, we can kick it off.
What's up? It's your boy Hen. You know who it is. At Henry Wind on Twitter. Feeling good this week. It continues to be a great week to be a Manchester United fan.
Just rolling along.
Rolling along. I love it.
I'll go next. I'll get the United boys together. That's at CDobes10. It's your boy Dobes. Great to see everybody. I've been very much looking forward to this pod tonight. So can't wait to get into it, fellas.
Same.
Yeah, happy New Year's, gents.
Happy New Year's, fellas.
Oh yeah, happy New Year's. Love
here
that.
at LCW21 on Twitter. Stoked to start at the top of the table going into 2023. Feels good.
What's up, man? I'm pissed off because we lost today.
What's your name, bro?
I said I'm Bucci Mane. I'm pissed off, but we're here. And
Yeah, I mean, let's get right into it. This was game week 17. We're just fresh off of Liverpool result. They lose 3-1 to Brentford.
Yes.
What a performance.
I low-key before, but we let Butch go. I feel like our last 4 podcasts have started with just
smashing Liverpool.
just Butch defending himself.
Well, hey, Butch, to be fair, you're not alone in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to Chelsea.
We'll get to Chelsea.
Arsenal is the only Big Six team that hasn't lost or drawn to Brentford this season. So
Fact.
Yeah, we got smacked.
Got smacked.
you're among friends.
But
I was gonna say, is
why don't
one
you
of the
start
things
it off with the weekend at the who'd you guys beat on Saturday? Well, we'll let you start with a positive before we kind of roast you a little bit.
on 2 own goals? Great positive.
hey, dude, we beat Leicester City. And
I would say Leicester City lost that game. You didn't beat it. You didn't score a goal.
I would say that's a fat cap, like that World Cup hat you're wearing, boy. but I'm saying we won against Leicester, and then I think Brentford played a very good game today, and I thought we underperformed in some areas. But Brentford, you give credit to because they're in 7th, and they're one of the smallest clubs in the entire country, and they're phenomenal. They're fun.
That was one of the things I wanted to talk about as Butch is pointing to them.
Man.
That's just but one of the things I wanted to point about this fixture is we can sit here and dog on Liverpool all we want, but Brentford has consistently been getting results against pretty big clubs. So are they a team that's going to stay
today without their top goal scorer too? Ivan Toney didn't play today.
Yeah, I forgot who was it Spurs that played Brentford the first game after the World Cup? I don't remember who it was, but we talked about it.
Yeah, it was 2-2.
Yeah, and we talked about how Thomas Frank is just a genius. He sets the team up so well, and their entire team just wants to run. All of them. They work tirelessly to get on the end of crosses. They're always in a position for a counterattack. We saw it. I mean, what's weird is the game was 3-1 today, and quite literally could have been 5-1. There was 2 offsides goals or whatever that got called off. Darwin also got one called off, so 5-2. We'll give it that. But they put the ball in the net a lot, and they were just tenacious. We saw the same things when they played United at the beginning of the season. We got countered on 3 times, and it wasn't just one guy took the ball the length of the field. There was 3 guys up in the attack, and one of them put the ball in the net. It's an incredible thing to watch week over week. And shout out Butch, like you said, one of the smallest teams in the country, just putting out stellar performances. It was impressive today. I loved it. And Liverpool losing, I just
possession was 73-27, and the score could have been 5-1, which is just it just shows the Brentford. I also thought what was great to see was the aura of Virgil just get yanked at halftime.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
That shocked me.
That shit, that was one of the. I mean, I don't know. Did it ever come out? Was it an injury, or did he actually just get yanked for tactical reasons?
No, he's hurt. His thigh. He had ice
shitty.
on his thigh, bruv.
Yeah, bro.
If he's hurt, that's
I
shitty.
put ice on my thigh too.
Said,
I swear, chat, my mental's not in a good state. I'm getting roasted every episode, man.
dude, if you keep playing like that. Now, Butch, let me ask, as someone who watches the team every week, I do not, because it's hard to watch. Insert Dobes' background. You said that you all got some things wrong today. What do you feel like those were?
Everything was forced. Did you watch the game?
Sure did.
Everything was forced. The whole entire game. Crosses were just aimless. I mean, Brentford had a field day clearing crosses out of the box because it was just like putting my head down. I'm just going to swing it in for the hell of it.
It reminded me of old Chelsea, how we were playing under like Lampard, where we were just like heaving balls in and hoping that people were getting on the end of them.
Yeah, it was very forced. Like there wasn't any methodical like part of what they were doing. Like there wasn't overloads in the wide areas trying to break them down. There wasn't an overload in the middle of the field. Like it was just aimless crosses. That's it.
Now, do you think, as we're on this Liverpool topic, and I kind of wanted to bring this up a little bit because they got away with it last pod, do you think Gakpo is going to be like, do you think he's going to just completely take over Nunez's spot?
No.
Like, how is that going to work with him being a signing? Because I mean, he is apparently, from what Henry and Doves have been telling me for a while, he's world class. They've been on his nuts for a while when United was linked to him. So to see him at Liverpool, I'm very interested to see how he does there.
No, I said it on the last one. He brings a whole different kind of perspective as a player because he's 6'3". He's an aerial threat. He's quick. He can score. He can assist.
Maybe those crosses someone will be on the end of them.
Well, but I mean, isn't Darwin like 6'4" in an aerial threat and can
6'4"
and get, yeah, bro, isn't he huge?
No, he's not 6'4".
What is he?
Bro, you think somebody's 6'4" running that fast? The only person who's 6'4" running that fast is Holland, and he's an alien. Darwin ain't 6'4".
I'm looking it up.
He can be compared to Holland, right?
He's 6'2".
Yeah, he's 6'2". It's still a big dude.
Big boy.
Decent size. But
I still think that Gakpo is going to play mostly off the left. Like, yep. I think that Klopp is still going to have to roll with Nunez just because, I mean, just it has to hope he starts scoring. But I think the spot that Liverpool misses somebody's off that left-hand side. Like Salah on the right, Nunez still makes decent runs. You know, he made that great run in behind today, just couldn't finish.
Yeah.
I think Gakpo is going to slide on that left side. And I think that's where he's kind of going to be his bread and butter, at least for the foreseeable future until they decide to give up on Nunez.
Yeah. Mane, the missing link of the
it's
squad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next thing I was going to bring up.
The midfield's an issue. Like the midfield is an issue.
No.
Yeah.
The missing link the past few years, and it's clear as day, is Gini Wijnaldum. Without Gini, we're not the same team we once were. Gini Wijnaldum was the
motor.
He was the underappreciated star of the team. He didn't get any credit, like plaudits. He didn't get the cover of the newspapers. But we don't have anybody in the middle that can do what Gini does.
Then now who do you want Liverpool to sign?
Jude.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, Jude's going to be a summer, like even if you get him, it's going to be a summer signing. That doesn't protect you for the next 5 months, 4 months, or whatever it is. Like, that's what I'm confused about, where like Liverpool's not going to get relegated by any means, but like you can 100% miss out on Europe easily. And then that's going to sway Jude's thoughts. Like he's not going to go to a non-European team, period. Like he's just not going to. So
but any one of our teams can miss out on Europe.
That's what I was about to say.
Arsenal. I mean, look at the table. Manchester United.
I think the same thing goes with us. If we don't finish top 4, we're not getting Jude. We're not getting Enzo. We're not getting the guys we need. It's imperative.
I was going to say the same way for us. It's the same. I think we're
in a much better spot than.
Oh, absolutely.
Than
you guys are in a better spot than both of us. But I mean, you're still in the same spot of fighting for top 4 and fighting for Europe.
Yeah, I guess I'm to your point, Nick, of like who you bring in. I guess I'm just like, And granted, like I'm not on like Liverpool Twitter, you know, I'm not like involved in the community, but like it's just confusing to me that I haven't seen any links to anyone midfield wise. Like the thing about Enzo came out, and it also came out for United, obviously, but now it looks like Chelsea's the destination. Like I don't know. So
Thank God.
It's so confusing as like a third party person that like Liverpool isn't.
I think you also have to think about the fact that like they want to sell Liverpool.
I was going to say, isn't Liverpool in the process of being sold right now as well?
The issue, not to like toot our own horn, is it's like you have like, it's like you go to the bar, you look across the bar, there's this girl, it's like kind of decent looking, there's Liverpool, and then like in walks like just a 10, and that's Man United. And everybody that was gonna buy Liverpool is like looking at the crown jewel right now, so it's kind of on the back burner.
This comparison, what the?
No, but that's what it is. All of the people that were, it's already come out, that were bidding for Liverpool have like left and put in bids to buy Man United because it's a cash cow.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like player wise, but you're talking about
ownership. Oh no, I'm talking about ownership. Yeah.
It's no, I understand where you're coming from, and on a business side, it's fucking
it's exactly what it is though. It's
Manchester United's name and brand.
Both clubs, both Liverpool and United, are a spot right now where it's tough to heavily invest.
Yeah,
because both owners want to leave, and that's why I think you're seeing. Like Liverpool, it's tough to go.
That's why you're seeing Chelsea buying everyone that we possibly
absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Butchie, what's next for you all? Like, when's the next time you all play?
We play like 4 days. I think the weekend coming up, we've got a bunch of FA Cup fixtures. Gotcha. So I think all of us have an FA Cup game. So
your next game's Brighton on the 14th.
Oh, Premier League.
The return of McAllister.
Yeah. So we got 2 weeks till the next Prem game, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm intrigued. I would love to revamp that midfield a bit. Maybe somebody cheaper that will get us through the next few months, and then we go for Jude. I read something that Jude's father is.
I do think you guys are favorites for Jude.
They definitely are. After the whole Henderson stuff from the World Cup and all, I think he's.
I'll think of Jude differently if that's his selling piece. Is Henderson?
Oh no, I mean that was one of multiple things that I've seen of him connected to Liverpool that just like add the cherry on top of. And did you also see in the interview, like after that game, they're like, "Can't wait to see you at Liverpool doing it." And he was like, "Why you got to ruin that?"
I did see that.
And it's like, fuck. The whole time I was just like, "Yeah, no shot. He's coming to ever come to Chelsea." So
you sent me that video and I just died.
Yeah, sorry. I just ripped his heart out from him.
No, we'll see. It'll be interesting, man.
And it's the reason why I wanted to. What I was going to say is when you were talking to Dobes about the ownership, is Liverpool just stole a signing from you, and it was Gakpo. So like clearly they still got some pull.
Yeah,
sure. I think it's just the player that they need is $120 million. You know, that's like we may spend some money, but I don't think it's going to be anything more than 30 million.
Yeah. Yeah, and
very similar to Liverpool.
Yeah. But as much as we were just dogging on Liverpool and trying to figure out what's next for them, I mean, Chelsea and us were in a similar spot. Like I was very happy after our first performance after the World Cup, thought we were buzzing, thought we were flying, and then we come out against Nottingham and just absolutely lay an egg. And it was one of those things where on the podcast, I think I missed the podcast before. So the podcast, even before that, we were talking about Chelsea, and I was really wanting like a different lineup, and I wanted to see hopefully CP getting involved. And I thought it was the lineup that we had the game before. Let me just make sure. Who did we play the game before? I'm drawing a blank right now. Was it Leicester? But anyway, regardless, we had similar lineups. And in the first game with CP, I thought he played really well, where he was creating chances. But in this game against Nottingham Forest, I thought he was not playing well. And I thought we were forcing a lot, kind of similar to how Liverpool was playing. And a lot of our possession was like in the defensive third, which is like, I am stressed out the entire time we have possession because one wrong pass can obviously cause a mistake. But I think we're in a weird spot right now, and we're a little bit different. We're kind of just signing everyone, as you guys have mentioned before.
Don't even know who you guys have signed.
I know. I think a lot of it is youth, like a lot of it youngsters, a lot of defenders that we're hoping will be in our academy and hopefully work up. I don't think a lot of them are like getting first team minutes like off the rip. Like we signed that Fofana, the other Fofana guy, who I think will actually be a good addition. And then obviously the rumors with Enzo, like I think for me, that's the first one of all the signings that I'm actually kind of behind. Like when we signed Sterling and Aubameyang, I was kind of like, what the hell are we doing? So this is the first one where I'm actually like, okay, like to be fair, I thought we had no chance of signing him. Like I thought Chelsea was not going to have our name in a hat for him. So the fact that we do, I'm all aboard on it just because I think it's a position that we're going to need here soon in the future with Jorginho and Conte. Like I think they're kind of on their downfalls or kind of trending downwards. So I think he would be huge for us. And I would be super excited if we did sign him. So we at least have something to look forward to, unlike Butchie over there.
Bully's playing Ultimate Team.
I know,
and he's literally playing Ultimate Team.
As like I'm okay with it, and it's one of those things where I wanted to bring this up on the pod. In years past, I think I personally, I don't know about you guys, I've literally like compared and contrast Chelsea as like a business. Like literally, I've like taken the numbers of people we've signed and taken the numbers of people we've bought and like compared them and like seeing how we've done as a business. I think all of that is bullshit. Like I don't care about that anymore at all. After the Barcelona crap that happened, all the hoops that they were able to get through, Man City signing Haaland after the summer they had, I think all of that is BS. I say I want our owner to buy everyone. We can buy everyone. I don't even care. Like,
but bro, you just tied the team who's also buying everyone, who's at the bottom of the table. Like, what's so I hate to use the same word that I use for Liverpool, but what's so confusing to me is like you watch Chelsea and take it back to like last year. You watched Graham Potter's Brighton and there was an identity. You knew what to expect from them. Like you knew the style of play that they were going to have. You never ruled them out of a game. And like, I'm watching this Chelsea game and I'm like, not only bored as can be, but like, I'm just not inspired to play the sport. I'm like, this sucks. Like it's so bad to watch. And
trust me, it's not fun. Doesn't make it any better as a Chelsea supporter.
But it's so confusing that you have like such a great coach. And yes, it takes time for them to like implement a style. Like we get that, but like looking at Chelsea sitting like fat in 9th place, one off of bottom 10,
game in hand.
Like,
but you also haven't played a single team in the top 6 away yet.
I know we were supposed to literally this stretch of games is supposed to be a cakewalk for us, and it has not been. So no, I'm by no means am I going to sit here and defend us like this. The previous game against Nottingham, like you were just mentioning, I was bored as well, and it hurts me to say this because I don't want this to be the case. But like, is it really all Reece James? Like, is he that important? And could I just be biased? But like, literally the game before he plays for 70 minutes, and we play some brilliant football. I saw the creativity that Kai had when Reece was on the ball. He was dangerous. Like, I don't know what it is, but like when he's not, like that's the only common denominator of the 2 games. Literally was Reece James in the starting lineup. And I just completely different.
I'm so surprised that out of everybody you've bought, you haven't gone out and got
a right back. I know.
Oh, Aspie a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
no, Aspie's
a couple of years ago.
Was
with you guys when you won the Champions League, but like Aspie's not going to be a backup that's going to be on a Premier League winning side. Like that's why like of all the guys you bought, you keep going to buy center backs, and it's like I don't think you really need.
Well, so to be fair, we thought when Reece James, and Butch has always brought this up, and it sucks because I'm starting to kind of agree with him that like healthiness is a part of like being a professional athlete. Like Reece James has to be held accountable a little bit for this because like he's not doing something recovery wise, or he's not keeping track of his body the way he should be. Like I'm not saying that's all of it, but like at a certain point this man gets hurt every single month, I feel like. And like I feel like as Chelsea, he's such a world-class player and he does bring such an identity. It's hard for us to be like, oh yeah, we need another right back when he's so influential in our team and in our side. But you are right now. He's injured. He's not playing. So like, what are we supposed to do? Just have Asby continually getting burned because he's 38 years old running down the wing? I just
33.
I just think the drop off, like you're saying, like you guys are a completely different side, and the drop off to how you have to play with Aspie is definitely a giant.
It's huge. Yeah, I just think that coming from someone who's been there before, where you spend a ton of money on players that don't make any sense. That was like United post Ferguson, where it's like Dobes and I were like reminiscing the other day of like, remember when like freaking Morgan Schneiderlin was like the base of our midfield? But like,
random
dude, so random.
Time.
But like, you're signing all these guys that don't know how to play with one another. And you know what you just said, you're signing a bunch of center backs. Like you just signed another one, by the way, from France, like the 21-year-old. Which is cool, but it's like Wesley Fofana, and then this guy is
Chalobah.
Chalobah. You sign Cucurella, like you have all these people, and it just doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes a little sense in the fact that like we definitely need defenders. Like Thiago's on his way out, Asby was on his way out. Like we lost Rudiger. Like we definitely needed defenders. I just think they're, like you were saying, they're so random. They're like it's like out of the blue. I had not heard any rumors about this guy, and it's like, oh, Chelsea signed it, official. Here it is. It's like, oh my gosh, who's this guy? I didn't hear any rumors about this coming into it. So like, yes, that still definitely confuses me. But like, we did need defense. Like Thiago can only be a Rolls Royce for so long.
Where is your panic meter? Because, and what I mean by that is, I don't mean that as like even like banter. I mean that as like,
no,
you're making all these signings. It's not like it's going to click to where all of a sudden, like all these guys are in the team, you're playing good. What are you guys sitting? Like how many points off of top 4 currently? You're sitting,
to be fair,
7 points off of top 4, haven't played anybody in the top 6 away yet. Like what's the panic meter at?
If I'm being a realistic Chelsea fan, top 4 is going to be very hard for us. So like with that being said, me already thinking that my panic meter for this year isn't crazy. Like I think like if we finish like this is crazy, like 8th or 9th, like let's say we end up doing that. Like that blows, but like if we don't make Europe, we don't make Europe. Like that's at the end of the day. Like I think us making 4th and 5th is going to be a challenge. So like my panic meter isn't going to necessarily be on this year. It will be next year. If all these signings and all the work that we're doing in preparation to make this team, because obviously they're not going to come in right now and help us this season have a crazy impact. So my panic will be if next year, if we don't make Europe, then I will start panicking and being like, what the hell is going on? What
Chelsea
Potter's
standards
playing?
are dropping.
I was going to say small club mentality, man. Small
club mentality.
Gee whiz.
No, I'm just realistic. Unlike
I know realism of a small club.
Where did you guys? Where were you guys finishing a couple years ago? Where did you finish a couple years ago?
There was still the expectation.
Top 4 is still the expectation.
Always trophies are the expectation. Always.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to be upset when we don't if we don't finish 4th or 5th. Like, by no means am I going to be happy by that. But I'm also realistic in saying that 4th or 5th is going to be us grinding out some wins, which necessarily I don't see with this side. Like, for instance, like Dobes was saying before, our next game, City away. Like, that's going to be, we're going to have to get some result. Like,
Well, thank you for clarifying that, because it really sounded like you were pretty okay with it. So I appreciate it.
By no means would I be happy, but I'm
just as a realistic Chelsea fan.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate you for clarifying that.
Yeah, dude.
But
I think do we head to the other side of the table? Go to the top of the table?
You fucking that's how you want to transition to it, you little shit.
I thought that was pretty solid. I mean,
that was good.
That was good.
I thought that was pretty solid.
I will.
Winksy, talk us through it, bro.
I was gonna say.
No, we're done talking about them. So beat Brighton away. One of the few games this season that we got outpossessed, and looking at the stats after the game, Brighton had like 68%. So it wasn't like it was really close on a possession front to us having more. But when you have a guy like Odegaard on your team, just absolute masterclass, Martinelli masterclass, Saka masterclass, and Nketiah bagging 1-2, like, we're a dangerous side, man. When you have more than one target man that can score a goal. And when 4 different guys score a goal in one game, I think that says a lot about the team, especially being down in possession that much.
I know it's not going to be easy for me talking shit on this right now. I think Odegaard is your only one out of them. Like, I think he is pulling all of the strings. Like, yeah, I think they're playing well, but like, I was thoroughly impressed by his performance. This is me like talking him up because I think he is.
You must have not watched Zinchenko and Martinelli on the left side.
No, Zinchenko played very well,
Saka
but
too, man.
I think Odegaard was pulling the strings the entire game.
I mean, he was the man of the match, and he's been our best player for the last several games. But like that, he's not like our other youngsters are right there too. They just play a different position and don't see the ball as much. Like
I saw something that was
on the ball way more.
No U21 player in all of 2022 recorded more goals and assists than Saka. It was like Saka was at 20. I think it was like Musiala was at like 18 or something like that. So
yeah,
Saka's that player over the last month, 2 months, even at the World Cup, has just like won me over. Like at this point, you just can't accept the fact that he's class, regardless if he's at the right spot or the right place at the right time to score. That man is class.
Yeah,
it is funny, Winks. Like in your preview for this game, you talked about like the wings, so Saka and Martinelli like getting forward, and I think one of the people that you called out was like Tarek Lamptey about how he normally plays like right midfield or whatever. But if you look at like the match ratings for like their left and right back, it's a 4.9 and a 5.9. You guys just absolutely torched them, and we'll pour one out for Billy Gilmore, finish the match with a 4.9 rating as well. But like, dude, it's just not it.
Yeah, and as we look ahead to Newcastle,
the juicy one, man.
It's going to be such a good game. If you're a betting man, do not in any sense of the world bet one of these teams to have a clean sheet. Brighton could have had 3 or 4 goals against us. And I know that we have the ability to put more than one past Newcastle, although Meslier has been playing very, very well for Newcastle.
That's Leeds, bro.
Yeah.
Nick Pope.
Long day, still recovering. Yeah, Pope.
Yeah. Nick Pope has been nuts for Newcastle.
He has.
Yeah.
And obviously, we talk about Almiron like every single podcast too. The guy's just insane. So, yeah, dude, I really don't have a ton to say about this game other than I'm really excited to see it. I think that, them coming off of a tie and then us coming off of a big win, and having us at home still an unbeaten home record. I think the only Prem team with a perfect home record still intact. So I think we have the edge. But yeah, it's
similar to how Dobes asked me, but it's obviously you're not in panic mode. But like, are you at the point, Winks, or Arsenal fans at the point where like if you guys don't win the title, it's a flop?
I mean, I've said all year that that we were going to be contenders. I know that we have people in the Mecca that have said that Arsenal were going to win outright, but I've always said that we were going to compete. Last year having the youngest squad in the Premier League overall and finishing how we did, 5th place. We looked great overall last year, and this year all these guys are starting to come into their own. And then obviously the Gabby Jesus injury, we talked about it the last couple pods as well. That hurts us big time. So we'll see. I know we just put a second offer in for Mudryk.
Looks like it's going to get done eventually.
Yeah, it looks like it's happening.
Yeah, and so we'll see what happens with that. But Eddie's playing well, man. I said it last pod, and I'll say it again. Like I hope he keeps surprising me in the way that he is. Now, I don't necessarily think that he'll be the one to take us to a title at that spot. So we definitely need to get somebody. But in the meantime, he's been fantastic.
I think this game tomorrow, if you guys can get a result, is kind of like that. You guys have gotten decent results the 2 games after the World Cup, but beating Newcastle, I think, is like that jolt because we have to remember Newcastle's lost once this year on a 98th minute winner against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like that's the only time they've lost. Like if you guys can get a dub against Newcastle tomorrow and kind of like solidify that, like you guys beat the top 4 teams. You not only get the results against the teams you should beat, you're beating the top 4 teams. I think that just internally with your side, not having Gabby yet, like I think that's just such a boost of confidence if you guys can come away with a result tomorrow. Like it has to be.
I agree.
Yeah. If Liverpool can beat them, there's no way, shape, or form that we can beat them. Sorry, Butch. Yeah, no, I agree.
But I mean, speaking of Newcastle though, like, can we talk a little bit about like how well they're doing? I think we've mentioned before, but like continually putting on results and they still sit, I mean, in third.
Yeah.
Is that a team that you guys see finishing in the top 4?
I don't know. I think it's kind of wild. Like if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that like the game that I'm like going to tune in the most for is like the Arsenal Newcastle game in January. Like I don't think that I would have believed you, but I mean,
we all would have laughed.
It's going to be a huge game tomorrow. Newcastle. The only thing that that worries me is again, like kind of like a quality like drop off situation. And the thing that's like directly in their favor is like they're not in Europe, they're not in these like big competitions, so they do have the opportunity to like rest their guys and all of that stuff. But I don't know. Like I watched them against Leeds this weekend, and Leeds just completely shut them down. And every time that happens, you certainly like have the opportunity to bounce back. But I also wonder if teams get like the prototype of like how to deal with teams whenever that happens when you shut them out. And they were also getting pissed. Like there was a lot of yellows in that game. I just don't.
Game.
Spicy for sure. I don't know if I see like what's hard is like I'm looking at the table right now and I don't think Newcastle's going to get it, but like I also don't think that Tottenham's going to get in the top 4. I don't think that they have like anything going for them. I don't think Liverpool's going to get top 4. Like so it's like it's kind of like you have to choose one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that Newcastle out of those 3 probably have the best chance, but yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm with that. I think you look at like Liverpool's result today. You look where Chelsea's at. You look at Spurs' form at the weekend. Spurs is the most boring team I've watched the entire season. Like it's Conte ball. Conte ball makes my eyes bleed. But like Newcastle, I think is just the most consistent. And like at this point, like between the teams that are in the running, like I think that's why my confidence with United is so confident. Like that we'll get top 4s because I just don't necessarily feel confident in Newcastle. But I'm also not confident in Liverpool or Chelsea at the moment. Like, and I feel like unless Brentford or, Fulham are going to go ahead and make a run, like I think the top 4 race is kind of wide open for that 4th spot because I just don't see Newcastle staying consistent. But then again, out of those 3, I think they have the best shot.
I was going to say they've only lost 1 game you just mentioned.
Yeah, but I think that it's going to come down to can they beat the big teams again? Because that's where the points are going to get dropped. I can definitely see them cruising past the bottom half of the table. It's when they play Chelsea again tomorrow, when they play Arsenal, like if that's going to be the determining factor, in my opinion, for Newcastle. Can they win the big one?
Yeah. And we know that Arsenal doesn't have like a great record against top 4 clubs this year. So it'll be interesting for them.
1 loss against the top 4 clubs?
Yeah. I love it. Who was that loss against, Lucas? Who was the loss against?
You're cutting out.
That was my favorite win of the year.
Yeah.
Thus far.
It should be.
I mean, it has to be at this point.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone over all of our clubs, another club I think we should definitely talk about after their result this weekend is Man City, because they did drop points, which was huge.
Are we going to get a United shout on here? Are we going to be able to chat through the United, or are we just like comfortable with them just rolling?
I totally forgot
what's
that
the
we
word?
hadn't talked about them yet.
What's
No,
the
we
word?
can we can talk about them. You guys can go on. Sorry,
I don't have a lot to say, and you can go real quick, but I don't have a lot to say, so I'll follow you.
Yeah, bro. A couple of like quick notes. What's nice is like, I think I said it last time, but it's like the first time in a lot of years as a United fan that I'm like comfortable in like the football doing the talking for us. It's great. I want to call out, I love Ten Hag benching Rashford to start. overslept a meeting. Team rules, you oversleep, you're not there on time, you don't get to start in the weekend. That's what happened. And then Rashford comes in and scores the winner. And then you see both of them in the post game, like squashing it, laughing and saying like, it's past. Yeah, like it's past. I love to see that. Think about like the media circus that has been Manchester United like the last several years, but specifically the last year. It's just nice to see that stuff is being squashed kind of like immediately now. And it's nice to see us grind out a win when last year, years prior, those are games that we either tie or lose.
I was about to say, you mentioned that you were very confident in the football that you guys are playing, but like you grinded out that game against Wolves. Like that wasn't no easy dub, and they're in 18th. Like
that's every single game that we've played against Wolves.
Yeah. They've had our number for a long time, but I'm glad to see like that away win. Keeping that good form. I think it's going to be awesome. Finally getting Lissandro Martinez back in the lineup. Shout out Luke Shaw one time. He's been playing great as a center back. I also think that this is going to be the exit of Harry Maguire this January. I think
probably summer, but
you think so?
I think summer.
Yeah, I think his pride's just getting in the way. He's being brought on in the 88th minute to just head a ball. It's just
no
crazy
sense to me.
To win corners.
Yeah, dude. So I'm pretty stoked on the performance over the weekend. And then like looking ahead, the Bournemouth game, I kind of feel the same way going into it. I feel really comfortable going into it. Leach might be back for that game. Would be cool. Other than that, like our squad's looking good. So it's nice. It feels comfortable right now as a United fan.
I'll echo all that. I don't have a lot to say in terms of performance on Saturday. I mean, as we kind of looked, it wasn't beautiful. It wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. In years past, we've seen, just the mentality of our squad hasn't been great, or we've conceded a goal in the last minute of the game. So I think I'll just take the positive from Saturday. I think I'm kind of at this mindset now with Ten Hag to where it's kind of like just trust the process, to where we're sitting in fourth. We're sitting in a great spot to finish top four. Last 15 games, 12 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, 9 clean sheets. We've already passed our total clean sheets from last year. I'm just kind of rolling with it. I don't have too many expectations because we've seen in years past good performances, good wins, and then we could lose to Bournemouth tomorrow.
I was gonna say Henry's take on it. I was like, wow, very confident take over there.
No,
Henry.
but
Job's a little bit more.
No, I'm very confident. I think it's in the reason I'm kind of just not gonna like jump over the moon yet is like we're a Casemiro injury away from
shambles.
McTominay. Like if you look in a crazy
Barcelona wants McTominay to replace Busquets.
Crazy stat that I saw is when Rafa Varane and Casemiro have been in the team together, we haven't conceded a single goal, like not once. Wow. And so I think that's where I'm very confident.
One.
No, they've been
17 minutes.
I know I was being funny.
7 or 8. David De Gea clean sheets last year, 10. David De Gea clean sheets already this season, 11. So like what you see from the progression under Ten Hag is kind of all I care about. He's building the club back to like where I want to see United. It just came out this past week that like he's taking over the reserve team. Like, so he's going to run the reserve team. So he's going to be in charge of the players that come through and the players that go back down.
Did he do that at Ajax?
Yeah,
I'm sure that's
that's what I'm thinking.
He did. He was telling stories about how he would like leave training and he would stop over and watch the U8s and U9s and see how they were training and stop over and say things. And I think that is why I'm sort of at the place I'm at, because for me, fourth isn't good enough. Third isn't good enough. We want to win titles. But at the same time, I'm so happy we appointed him because I think he's leading us in this right direction. We just have to back him. But the reason I'm not like head over heels right now is we miss a 9. Everybody knows we miss a 9. We're a Casemiro injury away from McFred again. So as many positives as there are, I'm still very realistic in terms of what we need to do. But at the same time, it's expected that United's going to be sold in Q1. So like, that's what I mean by everything right now is sort of looking positive. I just know, having been a United fan this last decade post Ferguson, not to just put all my eggs in one basket, because there's gonna become a time where we lose to a Fulham, we lose to a Brentford again this season. It's gonna happen. But I think the thing is just to trust Ten Hag, because the guy knows what he's doing, and it's been so apparent just in the absolute drastic change. Even though we're not playing the pretty football, like last year we tie that Wolves game, or we lose that Wolves game, or we concede a late goal. So just holding on and the discipline he showed Rashford, and Rashford coming on and accepting it, it just shows the positive change that's come in the club. So I'm happy with the result this weekend. I think we cruise tomorrow versus Bournemouth, but I'm at the point where I'm just trusting Ten Hag.
Love that for you guys.
Beautiful.
One thing I do want to say, you posed the question to me, and I want to pose it back to you guys as well. But what's panic for United this year? Like, where would you guys start panicking? Not.
My panic meter is at like 1.
Okay.
We are. I mean, we're.
Let's say you don't finish top 4. Like, are you pissed off? Is that a flop for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
Especially the fact that we're 2 points off of Newcastle with a game in hand. We're 4 points off of City. Like, we're 2 points ahead of Tottenham with a game in hand. 4 points ahead of Liverpool with a game in hand. Like, at this point, it just becomes consistency and staying healthy. Like the fixture congestion is going to be tough, and we need to bring in a striker. But my panic meter in terms of where we're at is like a 1. I
guess panic was a bad word. I guess I just wanted to say, like, if you guys were to not finish top 4, or what is a flop? No. Like, where would you be like, okay, what the hell? Like, where would you guys be pissed off?
Not top 4. I think the bigger concerning thing to me would be if the Glazers don't sell in Q1.
Okay.
Like, I think that's because as long as we have somebody in that's running the club, we can prepare a summer transfer strategy.
Say, what happens if it happens like right before summer and then you guys
we finish top? Well, hopefully we have a bully situation. We just buy everybody.
Just spends.
We finished top 4. The summer transfer window looks to be like our best one in forever, just because we're going to have a new owner that's going to come in and spend. Yep. So that to me, biggest concern would be Glazers not selling United.
Retweet.
All right. And now we can transition into the other team in Manchester. That's my fault, boys. I truly did not realize we hadn't talked about Manchester United yet. But did want to bring up Manchester City, even though we don't have any host that supports City. Still wanted to bring them up. They did have a result this weekend where they dropped points. I thought this was a very interesting game. Boys, I kind of wanted to see your guys' thoughts. Haaland, of course, still nets one. And to me in the beginning, I was like, oh gosh, here we go. You might have a freaking hat trick.
He could have had a couple.
He definitely could have had a couple. But I mean, Everton still pulling out that 1-1 result. Wanted to get your guys' boys' thoughts on that, because Frankie Lampard, hey. Hey.
Butcher, you got thoughts?
I didn't think it was a fun game to watch, to be honest with you. I was very
wrong.
I was very bored because I didn't see the normal City that we normally see with how they play. Everton obviously defended for their lives, but they defended well, and it seems like Lampard's game plan worked because he had numbers behind the ball. They had a back 5 when City would attack in transition. They had 5 at the back, 3 in the middle, tried to overload that middle and kind of just left 2 guys up. But their freaking goal they scored was unbelievable. Damari Gray hit an
Damari Gray. Dude, going on a run of his own.
That goal was absolute class.
Yeah, he hit a nuke. So, I mean, just bored. I was bored. I don't ever get bored with Pep, because Pep is like the biggest inspiration for me. So I was like, why are they so flat? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Phil Foden, when he came, I thought because he was brought on into that game, he didn't start, correct? I believe
he got brought on in like the 83rd.
Yeah,
I know. And he immediately like started playing well. And I was like, why are you not just having him at all times? I feel like Jack Grealish is such a like slow the play down, go at his own pace, I'm going to hope I get fouled type player, when Phil's just like, I want to go, I want to play, let's keep going, move. And I think it's so much better and so much more fun to watch City when he's on the field. Could
have been one of those games that Pep was like, we should cruise here.
Yeah.
And so why not
expecting Haaland to actually net a hat trick.
And not start a completely different 11, but Grealish isn't a bad player by any means. So obviously he's not Foden. But I
agree with Nick.
Watching that game, I would have expected Foden to come on a lot earlier. was my only thing. Like, I didn't really have a problem with Grealish starting because when you have the cheat code up top, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But would have just expected Foden to come on like 65th.
As an Arsenal fan, are you watching these City games like really intently now? Like hoping they drop points every single fixture?
I mean, yes, in the fact that I'm watching them intently, and yes, I'm happy that they're dropping points, but like I'm watching them the same amount that I have every other season because in the Prem for the longest time
they've been fun to watch.
They've been the most crazy team to watch with Pep behind them, like Butch said. So I don't think anything's really changed except for me now being even more happy when they drop points.
But what do you think is going on with like Walker and Cancelo? So they're both full fitness. They've both been like benched the last 2 games. They're just like not starting. They're also not coming on. And that's not a knock to Rico Lewis. He's been playing great on that right-hand side. And typically it's like Nathan Ake who fills in on the left, which I think he's a baller. I think he's
been playing well too.
I think he's grown on me.
He's so
same.
Sick.
I used to hate him, and now I kind of like him.
He's grown on me.
He's been sick. He's always been sick. But like, what's going on with like the wingback situation? Because Cancelo and Walker has been like his dogs for years.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know why he would bench 2 players of that quality. It could be something internal. You know what I mean? Something we don't know about, and it should always stay internal. Take note, Greg Berhalter, you freaking clown.
That's a nice shout, Butch. Good tie-in.
Yeah, look at you, bro.
You know what I
staying
mean?
relevant with the kids. I like it.
Well, there's just certain things like they don't leave the locker room. So if this is something that's going on with those 2, it stays there and they figure it out. You know, the press doesn't need to know why they're not playing. The press doesn't need to know why they're not starting. Keep your noses out of it. Pep's got a plan. He's the best coach of our generation. So, you know, he obviously trusts this Lewis kid enough to get the job done. Granted, they did win the first game back from the break.
Yeah, they did.
And then they drew
I was gonna say they even without them, they definitely had the chances to win to beat. They should have beat Everton.
Yeah. Oh, by no means do I think that like they're getting worse of a team now because of them dropping points. No, I still think they're probably going to be running on all cylinders next game.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they ended up dropping points to a team like Everton.
I would like to see, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're at the time now, Kyle Walker's approaching 33. I think Cancelo should start playing as the right back and Ake should play left back. Like, I think that could be pretty dangerous. Walker would be a great.
What a rotation.
Yeah, I know. Like, Walker.
Oh, sucks to be them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Cancelo's played left back for the last 2 years, and he's not left-footed. You know, he hasn't really gotten a chance at right back because Walker's still there. But now Walker is older. You keep him in the squad as an older vet who can play who can rotate in.
He's going to be the next Danny Alves.
I would let Cancelo just ball out on that right side. And let Ake's been, like you guys said, he's growing on me too. I like him a lot. So,
yeah. And one thing I want to bring up that like I always forget to like remember is like we're not there in training week in and week out. Like there's small things that like coaches pick up in training, like someone could not be playing well that week. Like there's a lot of things that go into picking a lineup than us just being like, oh, we saw them last weekend and they played good, they should start. No, like they go through a full week of training, recovery, like the coach is with them majority of the time during that week. So like there's a lot of aspects that we're not seeing.
They definitely know what they're doing for sure.
Yes.
They're definitely hired into those positions.
I think the one person that like needs to be called out this season, I know City tied, but like I've so much enjoyed Rodri play football this year. He is just he's absolutely unbelievable. For me, at least at this current moment, it's him and Casemiro for 2 best defensive midfielders in the Prem. I think Rodri hasn't dropped. It was like below a 7.5 in like his last like 25 games or something like that.
Ridiculous.
Which, I mean, to be like the most consistent player in that City team says a whole lot.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder how long City's going to be able to hold on to him before Barcelona come knocking.
Nah, he should have freaking played in that position in the World Cup.
Yeah, dude.
Over the old man. As much as I love Busquets, Rodri's he will go down as one of the best defensive midfielders during our years of being alive. Like
he's still super young, right?
I was gonna say, how old is
he's still
he?
like 23, something like that?
No, he's 26.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
When's his birthday?
that's still young.
Yeah.
He's a July birthday. You can look it up.
You can look at it.
I think we're at a pivotal point for the City squad, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
To where Arsenal is like a win away from not necessarily. I don't want to say clinching it because it's obviously way too early. But you go 10 points clear. You have to think. I think
you're feeling good.
The next two Prem games, I believe, are Chelsea, and then I believe when's the next one? It's like 2 weeks. I think it's United. So I think back to back. I think City goes. I think it's pull it up here. It's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday's Chelsea, and then they got FA Cup, EFL Cup.
It's fun. Yeah, it's funny to me. They play Chelsea twice.
Next Prem, yeah. Next Prem game is. Oh my goodness! Next Prem game is United, then Spurs. So like this is a pivotal point of the season for City. Like, or even if we're gonna have a title race, like we could be.
Maybe that's why
here in 3 weeks.
Maybe we just answered our own question with why he wasn't playing some of those guys.
That's also a possibility, but I think we could be here in 3 weeks to where it's a realistic possibility that, not to get you too fired up, Wings, that like Arsenal's 12 points up. It's definitely realistic.
Starting on like the 15th of January, I remember talking about this on the 15th of January, Arsenal goes through that for a whole month. They go through like
it's a lot different. Pictures. It's a lot different going through it with a 10-point lead versus chasing.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I get it.
So I don't know. It's the City team is, I mean, if Chelsea can get something going, like I'm all for it. I think United can catch them too.
Depends on what lineup we.
True. Yeah. True.
Flip a coin. I don't know.
Yeah.
True.
Honestly.
All righty. Now that we've all gone through our teams, Butchie Main, the best segment of the Mecca of Banner, Fact or Cap. What you got for us?
All right. So we're gonna keep it strictly Premier League. I'm excited to hear your guys' answers because
is Liverpool a cap? Yes. Keep going.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. So obviously we've seen a lot of games this year where teams have won against bigger clubs that we were not expecting them to do. Like Brentford beat us today. Brentford beat United. Fulham has beaten some big, you know what I mean? Like we've seen some great teams get good results. So do you guys think it's a factor of cap that Fulham or Brentford could finish in a top 6?
It's a great question.
Because they're both top 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to start it off? I think cap.
If you want.
I think cap. I think as I'm looking, I think Dobes kind of brought this up as well. Like, and it, to be fair, like really kind of opened my eyes a little bit. The fight for 4th right now is kind of wide open. And then if you look at some of those other teams, like we're going to finish above Brentford and Fulham. I'm like fully confident in that. I think Liverpool, like I would hope you guys are pretty much or have confidence that you guys would finish above them as well. So like I definitely
flip it.
Keep
the receipts.
I don't think
I'm shocked
at
your
confidence.
Finish
above us.
I'm shocked at your confidence too.
Yeah, it went from no expectations this year to now we've got to finish.
That's
above
not
Brentford.
expectations. It's just me not saying we're going to finish in 4th.
It's hard, man, because
I don't think so. I think Newcastle's another story. Like Newcastle may put up a good fight, but like Fulham and Brentford, I don't think they're going to continue this run or have any run towards a 6th or 5th place.
I think I'm going to go fact.
Okay.
I only think that because we've seen Brentford do it against the big club. My whole thing is I didn't know if I wanted to say like for sure is because it depends on if Ivan Toney gets like a 20 match ban.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know when that like what happens with that.
It's all fake. Yeah.
It was like I think we all thought he was
the
like,
whole money and budgets. Remember what I was talking about earlier? It's just fake. It's just a number.
Well, but like I think we all kind of thought we were going to come back from the World Cup break and like we just weren't going to see Ivan Toney, but like then there he was the very first game. So he's
banging in goals.
Yeah, like I'm going to go fact just to be different because I mean who's not here to defend himself, but like I don't trust Spurs.
Yeah.
Like I just don't trust Conte ball. Like it's so fucking boring to watch. Like we saw it this weekend. They look terrible. Like I don't know. I could see him finishing 6th. I'm gonna go fact, but it would only Brentford. I think Fulham's gonna drop off. I think it'd only be Brentford.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm going to say fact as well. I think that, the background you posed with the question of these teams being able to beat some of the top teams in the Prem, aside from us so far, shows that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And it's impossible to ever count anybody out if you include potential injuries, what starting lineups look like, the weather, whether it's home or away. Like, there's so much that goes into it. So saying it sucks that it's not fact, maybe, or cap. It's you're picking one side or the other, but I don't want to say cap for those reasons. And I think it'd be fun. I think that right now in the Premier League, like, yes, we have these bottom couple teams that are just overall shit, but like it's a competitive league right now all the way around, like with some of these teams that are winning games and some that are losing and should be winning. So I don't see a reason why it can't
So
happen
much parity.
if these teams meet at the right time and the everything goes in their favor. I don't see why they couldn't.
Yeah. I'm going to go fact as well. And this has nothing to do with the question, but is it the top 8 or the top 7 that get Europe now with like the conference league?
I think 7's the conference league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go fact. And similarly, I don't trust Spurs. I just don't. And Liverpool, I don't want to trust them either, but like there still is that like mentality game, I guess, that like I've seen it for 4 years now or 3 years now or whatever, that you just kind of like trust that Spurs are going to pick it up. But yeah, I'm going to go fact. I think that they're going to do it. And it'd be kind of cool, honestly, to see like a Newcastle in the top 4, to see a Brentford or a Fulham in the top 6. And like, mind you, Fulham used to be like in the Champions League all the time. Like, they have history as well.
MC.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Clint one time. Like, so that'd be cool to see. So I'm going to go fact as well. Nikki, I am so shocked that you're like so confident that you are going to finish higher than them, because that means that you're going to have to climb quite a few points to get higher than 6. So
quite a few points. What? We're a game in hand and 2 points back.
Bro, you're going to have to, you
got to play the whole top 6 away.
You're going to have to do a lot.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's crazy that you guys think it's fact. And it's not even for Chelsea. I can find 6 teams pretty quickly.
Chelsea's not
I think they're going to finish above Brentford.
I
know, but so leave Chelsea out. Liverpool,
Thomas
Tottenham,
Frank
United,
is
Newcastle,
making himself
City,
a
Arsenal.
top manager in Europe. The job that Thomas Frank is doing.
I agree with that.
At this moment right now, like I'd take him over Potter. Like,
yeah.
Quickly.
You wouldn't have said that when he was at Brighton.
Yeah, true. I was gonna give you some like credit.
Very true.
Well.
We still got to see how he can deal with egos. Like,
I don't trust Tottenham at all. I just don't trust them at all. I think that they're going to continue to like tie games or lose them.
And do you think Brentford's just going to keep winning?
Dude,
they have.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's why I just think like that's why I'm so like confused why you think my cap's so crazy. We just
saw them literally put the ball in the net 5 times today against Liverpool.
It's not that I
like
thought
without their top striker.
Yeah, I don't think that your cap was so crazy. I think what was so crazy was your wild confidence that Chelsea's going to finish ahead of them. Oh, that's what's crazy to me.
I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like, I mean, looking at the table and it's just numbers, but Fulham like wins 1 game, they're in 6th. So like they're there. And they like
same with Chelsea. You understand that too. Like we win 1 game, we're in 6th. We win another with the game in hand, we're in 5th. Like,
but they're not.
Okay. Neither is Fulham. They're not.
I'm going factos.
Unreal.
Butchie.
Dude, oh man. I think this is a fact, because like I think one of them is going to be in playing European soccer. Like, that's top 7, right? You said Conference League stops.
Okay, well 7 maybe.
Well, yeah, I think that they're top 6 though.
Yeah, one of them's playing. Yeah, I think it's facts, dude. I like the way that both of them play. Brentford's great on the counter. Fulham's got some dogs, man. Mitrovic, I'm terrified of that dude, bro. Dude, if he came up to me and said, "Give me the keys to your car," I would drop to my hands and knees and say, "Take it into your way." I'm being honest.
Dude,
you've been working out though, bro. You could take him.
Bro, he would stomp on me.
In the bro tank? Are you kidding me?
But he is such a menacing forward to play against. Like, I would hate having to mark him for 90. I mean, I think he's going to just keep getting it done. Like, he's got better
goals.
than a goal every other game this season.
Yeah, he's got 10 goals.
So you're taking Fulham over Brentford?
It's hard,
finish in the top 6?
Well, they got freaking Timmy Ream at the back, son.
Absolutely, one time for the one time.
Like, the guy's man bun is freaking unbelievable, man. Just
I was so stoked.
He's taking Fulham for top 6 because of Tim Ream's man bun.
Yeah.
No,
that's why he's saying it's
no. That's all jokes.
Man,
no.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Tim Ream's in the best form that we've seen him in many years. Their midfield, ever. Their midfield is doing great. The United reject.
I was gonna say
all of us
preseason Pirlo, bro.
Yeah, dude,
and Dan James.
Freaking Willian came back from the dead and is just lighting it up. Like, what's going on over there, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, they just look really good. And like I said, they got the absolute unit of a man up top. So I could see one of them getting in. I think Brentford has a least better chance based on however many matches Tony gets banned for. You know what I mean?
I hope he doesn't get banned, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we
understand. We just hope he does.
It's gotta happen. 247 counts of betting, like, bro.
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good,
bro.
Yeah. Regardless,
betting on 7th league sides.
He's one of us.
It's the Syrian league.
Yeah. So that was a good factor cap, fellas. I think that was solid.
Tooting your own horn there, man. You're like, man, I'm
pretty good at this.
Dude, I was fired up to ask that one. I was thinking about it all day. I was like, dude, these two teams are nasty.
They are nasty. Yeah.
And Hafey's muted.
Are you muted? Nick.
You bot.
It's his first time.
Still don't got you, bro.
Oh, Nick.
Oh,
Nick.
man.
Oh,
good.
Nicky.
Bucci Main, why don't you close us out here?
Is this foreshadowing of what Chelsea's gonna do?
I can wrap it up real quick. Yeah. So guys, Nick's mic is bugging, so we apologize.
Nick and Chelsea are bugging, bro.
Hey, on behalf
He can't defend himself either.
I know, that's why. I was gonna say, what do we want to say right now?
Hey, on behalf of the entire Mecca Banner, we want to wish you guys a happy new year. We hope your new year has gotten off to a great start. Ours has. Our group chat's been blowing up. The banter has been at an all-time high. I about broke my iPhone today from the text I was receiving from these clowns. So we appreciate your guys' support. As always, follow us on social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and listen to this brand new episode that will be released tomorrow, January 3rd, on Spotify. We will catch y'all later. Peace and love.
Cheers, fellas.
See you, boys.